Greetings and bienvenue, midnight crew. Thank you for returning to this broadcast, and welcome to new viewers joining us for the first time. If you like a video, then feel free to subscribe.
Share your paranormal experiences here. Anything goes, but please be truthful. Maybe we can find patterns and similarities.
I've seen things and had tons of paranormal encounters and experience since my family tree is knee-deep into something shady, and as far as I learned, I'm fucked up for life. I'll start with this one but can drop more if you guys are interested. A few months ago, spent the night drinking into some pub. Time to get back home, so I pack my things and find the way back along my two housemates. Dead of night and dead silent walk, even though we were in company. Just enjoying silence. One for all. I slow down to light a cig. Friends are a few meters ahead. Suddenly feel the old unsettling feeling I learned to be aware about. Freeze in place and start looking around while my two friends are busy doing some small talk. Feel dead cold and more uneasy than before. Then we hear it.
Mom?
A child's voice echoes through the empty road. My friends froze at that very moment and turned their head back in my direction. WTF was that anon? I don't even have the time to answer.
Mom?
Louder and closer. Friends scared as hell now. Then I felt it. Something is touching my back.
Mom?
This time it is behind me. My friends shat bricks. I answered back with a calm no. Order friends to slowly walk away and don't look at it. They're almost at the verge of a mental breakdown but comply with my request. I lit my cigarette and start to slowly walk away too. As soon as we get out of that alley, they start running. In the distance we heard it another time crying for its mother. Wished it good luck and started heading back home.
Sounds cool. Please share more.
As you wish. Here's another one. 2 years ago, me and a few friends doing some urbex around the city. Decide to sneak into the cemetery for a night stroll. One of those friends worked as a gravekeeper helper, so he let us in. Calm night and somewhat poetic. The candles lit beneath the graves and the fireflies were hypnotic and soothing. It felt peaceful, looking around while casually avoiding graves. Peaceful feelings suddenly disappear. Rush of uneasiness out of nowhere. I know this feeling.exe. Start looking around like a scouter. Friends a few meters behind me. Hear a quiet sobbing right before me. Then I saw it. A very old woman with old-fashioned clothes is sitting right on top of a grave. She's head down while quietly sobbing and whispering. Friends didn't see a thing and kept walking while making noise and jokes about the dead. One of them stopped right next to me.
What is wrong, Anon? Why did you stop?
Order them to stop and be quiet. Don't hear me cause they're laughing way too loud. This is not good. Turn looking back at the point where the sobbing old lady was. She wasn't sobbing anymore. She was watching my friends walking around a grave about 10 meters away. Now her face had a blank, furious expression of anger, with pitch black well as eyes and mouth. Bad feelings rushing down my spine. A friend from before is still right next to me.
Hey, I'll look down there. Do you see it? That's why I told you to stop.
He shat bricks.
What about the others, Anon?
I hope for the best, because sure as hell I won't disturb that old lady too. Come and follow me. But don't run and make any noise if something were to happen. Just ignore it and do not disturb it. We take a secondary road in order to reunite with the other friends that now are nowhere to be found, even though we can still hear them. Few minutes passed. We heard screams and noises. Other friends are now on site and running in chaos. I look in their direction. The same old lady was standing still in the middle of their path. Hey, let's head back to the exit and be careful where you put your feet on. I don't want to meet another one of them. He's pale as a sheet, and at this very point he's just mumbling some incoherent words. Before heading back, I look one last time in the direction of that thing. She returned back to her grave and started sobbing softly again. I mourn a little prayer of condolence, even though I stopped praying years ago, and go back. Meet the running friends right next the exit. Guys, what happened? Are you okay? Long story short, they told me they heard something moving alongside and went to check, thinking it was me doing a prank on them. Just to find out, peeking behind a grave, the old lady looking at them with those dreadful eyes. That's when they lost it and started running. We got out of the cemetery, and before heading to the car I whispered a few words of excuses for this trespassing. And this is the night my friends stopped doing urbex for good. Well, All my close friends know that I live with this spooky shit on a daily basis, and that's why I may sound calm and collected in those memories. I've seen some shit, trust me. Here's another one. 3 years ago, an old friend of mine paid me a visit. One thing led to another and he decided to spend the night in my house. Some background. I live in a fairly recent house with 3 other friends. This house has an old cantina-like basement connected to the main house that was used as a storage. Now the thing is, the house isn't haunted itself by me, as if I can make things clearer. Thanks to these personal experiences, I found out that those stereotypical spoopy bullshits have a bottom of truth lying into them. That's why I used to avoid that basement, since it always gave me some really bad vibes, and on more than one occasion I saw something human-like moving inside the pitch-black darkness. But now let's return to the point. Friend decided to get downstairs to search and take one of the old mattresses that were stored down there. Since he has known me since childhood, he knows about my spoopy life.
Hey Anon, is it safe to go down there or will we be attacked by some ghost-ass pervert?
Cold sweat cause last time I went down there I've seen some pretty shady movements. Nobby, it'll be fine, but let's turn all lights on just in case. Climb downstairs. The basement is essentially a big-ass room with stone walls that lead to another smaller room that was used as an office. Mattress is right next to the office's door. Door's wide open. Inside that room there is an old dusty desk, some wooden furniture, and a big and heavy iron chair. Fuck me, the uneasy feeling in that room is killing me. Decided to slowly close the office's door before starting the mattress mambo that will take us upstairs. Hey B, you grab the front part and I take care of the bottom. Finally, we proceed to leave that place. We're a few inches from the first step when we hear it. That screeching sound frees us for good. What we saw was the office's door slowly opening by itself. Here we go. Sorry about this B, just let me close that door and let's get the fuck out of here ASAP, I said reluctantly. Friend stands on the first step with the front of the mattress still in his hands. I can see in his eyes he's ready to bolt away any moment now. Get closer to the door. Feel very, very bad about the whole thing. Grab the knob and very carefully start closing the door. Then I saw it. The big fat heavy iron chair moves. The screeching sound it made was terribly loud. Then the chair suddenly smashes against the inner wall of the room at an inexplicable speed. Now the crash noise is immense.
Anon, what was that noise?
He was trembling in fear. Listen to me B, now keep calm. Let that mattress go and slowly back away upstairs. He sprint away like a goddamn Ferrari. Mattress fell on me since he left it in a rush. Now I'm alone and on the ground. Well, at least the lights are still working. Lights out. For fuck's sake. Start hearing whispers around me. Now I'm scared. Yell at my friend to light up this goddamn place. Lights on again and the whispers stops. Calmly get on my feet. Close and lock the door. Grab the mattress all by myself and drag it upstairs while my friend is holding the basement door. Since that day my friend refuses to get anywhere close to my basement. From now on I'll use a trip just to let you guys know which stories are mine. Here's another one. A year ago. Summer break. Paying a visit to my parents. Start seeing again that little ghost child wandering around my parents' house that back in the days used to scare the living shit out of me. Home sweet home. Don't pay it attention and mind my business. Time to sleep in my old room. Had the weirdest dream. In my dream I'm wandering around my house. Even though it is night I can feel the colors and shades are off and weird. Tons of shadows moving around but not afraid. Enter my old room. See myself sleep. Damn, that's what I look like when I'm asleep.
Hey, you want to play?
I froze.
Hey, you want to play?
Turned back just to see a little child in old-fashioned clothes looking at me. Try to answer but I stopped midway. An intense sense of dread assaults me as I turn my head in the direction of the door instinctively.
Hey mom, can I play with the child?
At that very moment I saw her. She was at least 7 feet tall. Wearing a corset. A long Victorian dress and her hair collected in a chignon. She was hiding in the darkness behind the open door.
Mom, can I play with the child?
No. Faster than light she dashed in my direction and started to choke me. I woke up instantly. Opened my eyes. She's still there floating on my head with a malevolent grin on her face spasmodically contracted. I scream out of surprise. Turn on the light. She disappears. Grab my things and move to the couch for the night. Here's another one from a few years ago. I'll try to post more stories, but I've been busy in the past hours. College break. Since I'll be home alone, I decided to pack my things and move for a week to my friend's house who used to live in a very old and historical town. Lucca, Italy for the one interested. That town always gave me the worst vibes, and I've seen some pretty bad shit in there during my visits. Fast forward a few days later. Me and 2 other friends chilled in the early evening. Still had the usual bad vibes, but man, I learned to shake it off. Chilling on the couch trying to sleep. Both of my friends are playing some PC games. Loud medieval music comes from their room. Yo guys, can you please turn off the music a little bit? Trying to sleep in here. No answer. Music turns louder, and now I can hear the melody and the various instruments. Horns, drums, flutes. One chord instrument I couldn't recognize, and a choir singing in the background. Hey guys, for fuck's sake, would you turn that noise off? My head is banging and hurts like hell. Friends call me in. I go, WTF is going on?
Hey, and on WTF are you talking about? There's no song in here, and me and him both have our speakers unplugged.
After this point, music grows even louder. It's coming and echoing from everywhere. Little background. He used to live in a very old house built somewhere in between 1600 and 1700. At that very moment, I'm on the verge of a mental breakdown. Don't you hear this fucking song? They look at me in complete confusion. I'm literally crying. Beg them to listen carefully and pay attention. Finally, something happens.
Anon, WTF is this sound, and where does it come from? Are you playing a prank on us? Now I hear it too, but it is way too faint and distant. Maybe a neighbor is listening to some song and set the speakers way too loud.
I doubt it, but I play along. Go out in the garden in order to catch the sound's direction. Dead silence. Now they're both uneasy. We went back home. As soon as we enter, the music starts again. Louder and louder than before. For the 2 of them, that sound was faint and distant as a whisper, but persistent and vigorous. Now they're both scared. We search everywhere and everything. Nothing to be found. Suddenly the melody stops. My headache is gone. The noise is gone. I lit a cigarette, spilled a glass of whiskey, and said fuck it to the whole situation. Convinced friends to do the same. After that occurrence, nothing strange happened for the rest of the night apart the usual shadows dashing and moving.
Not sure if this is paranormal or just coincidence, but creepy nonetheless. Live in a semi-ghetto. Father just passed away from cancer. His dying wish was for us to move away from shit neighborhood. Insurance money makes that possible. Mom is looking for a house in the neighborhood out of reach financially. Mom driving with a real estate agent to see a house. My mom says she heard my dad's voice whispering, "Turn here," on some random street. She tells the real estate agent on a whim. They drive down the street and see a man standing outside the house moving furniture out. They talk to the guy. Biblical name. Mom tells him the situation. He feels sympathy and agrees to sell us the house for a good price too. She tells me what happened. Was seriously considering sending her to a psychiatrist, but settled on saying it's a coincidence and her mind playing tricks on her. We move in and learn the lady that used to have the house died a few months prior. We heard noises and shit at first. The heater wasn't even on. So no explanation for that loud knocking. It could have been the walls or floors, but the knocking felt human and had a repeating pattern. And it always stopped when the morning came. We dig up the backyard to plant stuff. Find a tin. Dog ashes in a tin. We feel bad, so we put it back and don't disturb that area anymore. Since then, no more noises. I think we got on her good side, possibly also because we treated the house with care. Now the really chilling part. Having dinner one day. Anniversary of Dad's death. All of a sudden, I noticed that the date of his death perfectly matches the house number. My mom's always been a magnet for supernatural shit, even though I don't really believe in it myself. But even I can't put this whole thing under coincidence.
Damn man, sorry about your dad. Wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. Go ahead and tell us more creepy stuff if you're up for it.
Sure, Anon, just for you. I have my mom next to me and asked her to tell me more weird stuff. My mom's always been really good at interpreting dreams, so I'll tell some of those. A few days before 9/11, my mom dreamt of a massive hole under New York City, where we live. In the months leading up also, she dreamt of black pipes protruding from the buildings in New York. Apparently a bad sign, don't know too much about it. Kid upstairs that we were renting our apartment tells her about a similar weird dream involving Manhattan. A lot of people, especially in my area, had dreams leading up to 9/11 that were similarly ominous and were signs of mass death. These are the next ones from my dad's dream. Mom and Dad talking about memorable dreams they had. Dad mentions one dream he had when he was 10, that he and his grandfather, same name as his, were on a small boat in a still body of water. Dad was raised by his grandfather, more than his own father. Boat tips and force pulls both Dad and his grandpa to a deep depth where there was no light. And the dream ends. His grandfather died at age 54 of a heart attack, but he was alive when my dad had the dream. Mom thinks it's ominous but doesn't say anything. Dad and his grandpa die at the exact same age and same month. This last one is mine. Recently, when my father died, I got his truck. The car worked great for many years without major problems. Night before work, I have a dream of my dad giving me the keys to my truck. He rubs the pure metal key, and the key begins to turn rusty. It eventually partially disintegrates in his hand. He hands me the remainder of the key without looking at me and walks away. Hands in dream trembling, but that dream transitions to a good dream afterward. Wake up, and just think it's a weird dream that doesn't mean anything. Drive to work, everything is fine. Drive back, and car redlines for no reason when I try to merge on the highway. Transmission is fucked, barely enough power to travel at highway speeds. Had to make a decision whether I wanted to fix it, or get rid of it. I decided to fix it. Parts are coming tomorrow and gonna do it on Saturday. Still though, the odds are way too small for it to be a coincidence. That was the first time I saw him in a dream for years, and when I usually used to see him, it was just hugging him and talking, nothing as serious as this.
Be me, 12. Granddad had just passed away. It hit hard and could explain what I saw afterwards. While taking the trash out one day, during noon, the sun was shining. Lived in a suburban area, very big and visible, and could see around every corner. Saw an old man, wearing an all-white suit and golden shoes, white hair, with a walking stick walking on the sideway looking down. Glanced quickly at him, didn't think much about it, and looked away and continued to the trash can. Suddenly I got a weird feeling about how out of place this man seemed to be, with the all-white suit and golden shoes. And he also had a weird glow around him. I turned away for like 2 seconds and looked back at him. He was nowhere to be seen. Vanished. It was impossible that he could have hid anywhere, since he was in the middle of a sidewalk during the day, and the area itself is very wide and visible. Never seen him again, but think of him from time to time. Has anyone seen anything similar to this? I've been trying to find information online about exactly what apparitions look like. A white suit, golden shoes, white hair, weird glow. But so far, I haven't heard anything exactly similar to this. Many stories are similar with the man in the hat, but this one was just all white. And very clearly a normal human. Just vanished and had a weird feel to him. If anyone's experienced anything similar, or has any information about what I could have seen, I'd love to hear about it. Been wondering for years now. If I could describe him more clearly, he looked a lot like Colonel Sanders but with golden shoes. And I didn't see his face.
Be me, forward observer in the U.S. Army. 9 months into what turned into a 14-month deployment to Afghanistan. Out hunting some Taliban bomb maker fucker. Chased him and his buddies up a mountain, but it got dark before we could catch them though. Layin' on a down slope, I go make a hasty opus 50 meters from the rest of the company, and get comfy. Sun sets, no moon, low cloud cover. Darker than Satan's asshole, so can't see shit. Break out this $50,000 FLIR scope and slap it on my rifle. Start scanning my area and waiting go get shot by a sniper. See something across the saddle and up the opposite hill, roughly 300 meters away. Man-shaped thing stands out like a torch in the infrared. Just standing there, not moving, obviously knows we're there. Call out possible contact and the sniper team comes over. They see nothing through their night vision scopes, call me an idiot, and leave. I look and it's still fucking there on infrared. Spend next hour watching each other. See more movement uphill. See a lot of movement uphill. Oh fuck me. JPG. It's fucking on. Bomb maker called his boys and now they're assaulting our position. They run right fucking past the infrared shape, not even acting like it's there. I lose track of it during the firefight, but pick the shape back up maybe an hour later. Starting to convince myself it's not actually there until it fucking moves. It starts walking the battlefield, slowly moving from body to body and heading in our direction. I go cold and my stomach drops out. Put sight on target, pull trigger, send bullet. Nothing fucking happens. Proceed to do controlled mag dump at 150 meters. Still nothing. Reloading when the platoon sergeant stops me and asks what I'm shooting at. Give him a rifle, point, he sees nothing. Pulls me off the line for a break. Never see the thing again. Sometimes I feel like it's out there and I start to panic knowing I can't see it. I also wonder about what else is out there that I can't see.
I hope that you enjoyed tonight's broadcast. If you enjoyed tonight's story, then please subscribe to the channel as more green texts will appear daily. A new broadcast will appear when the clock strikes midnight Central Time.
Remember that all videos have been archived on the Odyssey page.